Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, I will be picking up my TBR for the rest of the month. I know it's a bit late guys, I don't know why I picked it out so late. It's probably because I did get back home literally at the start of this month. So now I'm a bit late to this, so I've got my little prompts in my class and then I'm going to be picking it off these two top shelves. Well, this shelf and this shelf. And I've got like about 30 books to pick from. This prompt is going to be, I'm going to be picking 4 books I think, or 5 maybe, depending on how big they are, from an author I have not read before. This is a hard one because I've generally not read like most of these authors. What book would I like to read? I don't know like what books to read. Why is there the book? No, don't say that. Look, look, look. There's a spider on the book. I don't know. Right, I don't know where the spider's gone. I'm kind of scared, but I'm just gonna pick this book. It's called Still Life. I've just wasted like half my time literally getting scared over a spider. So this is my first book, which is Still Life. It's quite a thick book to be fair. It was actually quite okay. It's like nearly 500 pages. So that is my first book that I'm picking, and now I need to pick my second book. Got my prompt, which is water on the book, which means it has to have a water on the case cover. So I do have a few options for this one. I feel like I need a microphone. We're gonna figure out and see like I record this if it sounds any better. You guys are gonna comment on it too because you're hearing me without this at the moment. But some point I'll be having this, and yeah. Because if I look away, it won't mess up the audio. Hi, I don't know if this is actually like making any difference, but I do need to pick a book with water on it, so I'm gonna get an option of 3 books because I'm gonna drop the books. So this is my 2 books which have water on. I swear they have a 3rd book with water on. No, like I think I have 4 books with water on, but I'm just gonna pick out 3. I'm not reading all 3 of these, but I'm going to tell you which ones they are, and then I will pick one of them because obviously you guys can't pick for me. So the first option, which is actually the last one I picked up, was Where the Crawdads, I think that's how you say it, sing, which I've had this on my book, I've had it on for ages, and I do need to read it. So I am kind of going towards this one because it's also a pretty cover, and I'm not even showing the right way. It's a very pretty cover. So I think I might go for this one, but I'm not sure. Then I've got this other book called Summer Nights. It's by Ali Spencer. I don't know what this book's about really. I'm assuming it's just like a little romancy type book. And then I've got a book called Just My Luck, which is by a pool. That one's by the sea. And then this one has a bit of water in the bottom. So I think I might go for this one, which will be my second book. Yeah, I don't know how to hold my microphone when I'm holding this, so I might just do this. But now I'm going to go and get my 3rd prompt. And you're probably going to hear this a bit more louder, so I may have to mute this a little bit. But my 3rd prompt. Oh, this is a good one. Lowest rating. Go onto my Goodreads, and then I will go on to, I've got a section on my Goodreads called TBR, and that's basically all the books that I own of physical copies. So I'm going to go and do by ratings, and then that's meant to be my lowest, so I'm going to reverse it and then pick my lowest one. Although I think my lowest is actually, oh yeah it is, my lowest is technically The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which is obviously a Twilight book. So I can't technically pick that one, but my next lowest is The Missing Years by Lexi Elliott. Which, to be fair, I have actually started this tiny bit. I read about 5 pages last night, but I did fall asleep. so I don't remember it. So I do have this book, which I'm actually really excited about. I will tell you I will go through them all after and tell you like the blurbs and stuff. Anyway, we're gonna go and get my last one. I think my last one anyway. I might get another one depending how I feel. I've got 3 weeks to read at the moment for technically 4 books, but I'm actually reading another book at the time as well, so technically 5 books. I'm reading The Firstly Murder Club, The Bullet That Missed, which is the 3rd book. My potential last book. I won't have that one. I picked that up like 3 times then, so it's coming out. Been on my TBR for 1 year. Again with that, most of my books have been on my TBR for like a year. A lot of them I put on the same day. So, oh wait, that's actually kind of funny. The one that I've actually had on there the longest, which is by a day longer than the rest, is this book, which I've already picked for a different one. I've got 5 books that I put in the same category as on the same day. First option, how are you? One Last Stop, which is quite a big book. So I don't know if I want to have that because I've got a few big books now. Next option, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I have started that one, but I think I read like 3 pages. It was while I was in Australia, and I didn't get into it that well because I tried to read it at night, but then obviously I was in a room with more people, and whenever I read, they like need to go to bed and stuff, so I ended up reading like 2 pages and then I ended up not reading again. But I did enjoy the pages that I read, so I feel like I would enjoy it. The next book option is The Paper Palace. And the next book is The Keeper of Stories, which I could pick, or The American Roommate Experience, which I feel like most people would have known what this is about. So I'm just going to put this one back for the time being. Also, that's one of my recent buys. Which, this one is like, so I am leaning more towards these ones. And I don't know if I want to read all the ones that have water in the cover. Because I literally picked 2 books out of the 3 that have got water in. So, that sounds like a weird reason to not read this book. But that is the reason I'm not reading that book. So it's down to One Last Stop and Evelyn Hugo, and I think I'm going to go with this one. I feel like these are all big books, but it's good to have big books sometimes to get rid of them. I kind of want to pick another book, so I've got 5 books. I just don't know if I'll finish them all. So I might see what I pick, and then I might decide after if I want to read it or not. So, got my little one out here. Ooh, and this one's a good one. I'm going to move my glass because I don't want to knock it off. This one is real people on the cover. So it has to have a person on the cover. And I do have a couple with people on the cover. I again have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So technically that's a real person. I'm pretty certain that's a real person. Whichever other else ones. I have a couple, but I can't remember which ones anymore. I have Janet McCurdy. I'm glad my mum died. I did start reading this. I think I got to like chapter 5. Generally was so interesting. Potentially might put it on my TBR like now. Might have it as my next read. So I've got that one. Or is it? Well, it's one of these ones. I just can't remember which one. Oh yeah, so I've got this one, which is The Killing for Company, The Case of Dennis Nilsen, which I read a while ago, but I didn't really read that much of it. I probably got to about 20 pages, and it just got to the point that like I just couldn't read it. I was in a massive book slump. Can't speak. And I think half the reason was because I was reading another book, but I just wasn't into the book, and it made me not really read it that well. I think that book that I was actually in a book slump for took me about a year to read, which is not fun. So that's another option. Or I've got one more option, which is Kala. I don't know how you say that. It's a new book. It's also a recommended from one of the bookshop staff member. I went to the Waterstones, and the person who works there recommended it, and she sold me on it. So I literally bought it today. So I don't know if I want to buy this one. I've already bought it. I don't know if I want to read this one or read one of the other two. I feel like this is quite a good read, but I kind of feel like I'm going to basically be wrapping all of this up in tissue paper and then doing a blind TBR from my next month, which I think I'm going to pick a couple extra books than what I've already picked. And yeah, so I'm going to do that, but I also don't know what books to pick for, like what books to put into that, because some of these books I would know what they are straight away purely for the fact the height difference. And saying that I did already read this one a little bit recently, like a couple chapters, I may put this one into my TBR now, because I feel like I'll remember it a lot easier than what I will in a few months' time. Also, I did enjoy this really well. It was quite a good book. I do highly recommend buying it if you can. I might pick that as an option. The first book that I picked is Still Life. When fishermen pull a body from the sea one freezing morning, it is quickly discovered that the dead man was the prime suspect in a decade-old investigation. DCI Karen Pyrie was the last detective to review the file and is drawn back into a sinister world of betrayal and dark secrets, but Karen's already grappling with another case. A surgeon has been discovered in an abandoned camper van. All clues point to a killer who is still out there. In her search for the truth, Karen uncovers a network of lies that have gone unchallenged for years, but secrets can turn deadly when someone is determined to keep them hidden for good. Which sounds really interesting. The second book is Where the Crawdads Sing, which says, for years rumours of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town on North Carolina coast. So in late 1969, when Hampton Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kyra Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl, but Kyra is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived 4 years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the ghouls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be loved. When two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kyra opens herself to a new life until the unthinkable happens. And I can't wait to read that. I know that's also like a TV, or is it like a TV show or film or something? Which is probably where I heard it from originally. I can't remember, but I just like the cover, and I think I've seen some other people like on book on Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, on YouTube that I seen recommend it, and yeah, it sold me, so I bought it. And then we have one last stop. Says for cynical 23-year-old August, moving to Norwich City is supposed to prove her right that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist, and the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that, and there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then there's this gorgeous girl on the train, Jane, dazzling charm, mysterious, impossible Jane with her rough edges and swoopy hair and soft smiles, showing up in a leather jacket to save August morning when she needs it most. August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day, but pretty soon she discovers there's one big problem. Jane doesn't look like an old school punk rocker. She literally displaced in time from the 1970s, and August is going to have to use everything she tried to leave in her own past to help Jane. Maybe it's time to start believing in some things after all. Casey McGrath's One Last Stop is a magical, sexy, big-hearted romance where the impossible becomes possible as August does everything in her power to save the girl lost in time. I thought that would be a nice book, to be fair. In this book, The Missing Years, which I actually can't wait to read this. I did actually start a little bit the other day, and I can't wait to finish it. Liza, I don't know how you say her name. why can't I say her name? Lisa Calder has inherited half a house. The other half belongs to a man who disappeared without trace 27 years ago, her father. Travelling back to her childhood home, which sits nestled amongst the craggy peaks of the Scottish Highlands, Isa's past threatens to swallow her whole, and she can't escape the claustrophobic feeling that the house itself is watching her. So when Isa encounters an intruder in the dead of the night, it becomes apparent that behind the Maynard's careless, rugged beauty lies a very real threat. Which sounds very interesting. It's probably one of the books I'm excited about, to be honest. Actually, to be fair, I'm excited about most of these books, but this one actually I'm excited about. My last one, which actually is the last pick that I got, is McCurdy, sorry. I don't know what I said then. I'm glad my mum died, which is obviously it's just about her growing up in her growing up before she was on TV, and then I think it goes into her being on TV as well, but then half of it, the bit that I've read so far, has been about her mum being sick. I feel like her mum did force a lot onto her, and I don't feel like that was great for her mental health and stuff, but this book is actually a really nice book so far, and I can't wait to get back into it. So that's going to be exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I will see you guys next week with a new video. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. And also, if you want, you can maybe recommend some other videos that I should do if you wanted to see any more videos from me. But anyway, bye guys.